Listeners, this episode is brought to you by the good folks at Bevel. I already told you, and I'm going to tell you again. Bevel is taking the grooming industry by storm. Their buzzer, the razor, hair care products, grooming products, official tissue. Go to getbevel.com/Pete. Get yourself a discount. Check out what they got going on. The grooming products, the razor. Tristan Walker's even doing a hair care product called Form Beauty. Listen, it doesn't stop. Getbevel.com/Pete. Check out what they got going on over there. Tell them the Premium Pete Show sent you. This episode is also brought to you by UN Athletics. Listen, go to unathletics.com. At checkout, put in Pete10. That's the code. Get yourself 10% off, and it's free shipping. Listen to me. Get yourself a new pair of kicks. UN Athletics, I fuck with them. That new drop they got coming with Anthony Mason, man, his son, Anthony Mason Jr., designed that shoe. They're dropping it. All the proceeds go to Anthony Mason Foundation and the family. It's dope shit. Listen, if you're not a Knicks fan, even if you're an NBA fan, Anthony Mason is just a legendary dude. UN Athletics got a bunch of releases and collaborations that are coming up that are dropping. Go to unathletics.com. At the checkout, put in Pete10. Get yourself 10% off and free shipping. Chea. Internets, I got something for you. Take this number down. 804-452-7383. Again, that's 804-452-7383. I'm bringing back this segment, Ask Pete. Let me tell you something. That's the Premium Pete Show hotline, okay? Anything you're going through, you're having problems at your work and you want to quit and follow your dream. Maybe you're in a relationship and your girl's driving you crazy or your man's driving you crazy. Maybe, marriage shit. I don't know. Maybe you want to know where the best pizza or bagel spot is. It doesn't matter. Leave your name and let us know. Call up 804-452-7383. And listen, I might pick up. I probably won't, but hit me. Get your questions and your comments off your chest, okay? And like I always say, if it ain't no fuck shit, we're going to play it on the show. Speaking of the show, we're back at it this week, sitting down with Mr. ChefFofHigher himself, Hawaii Mike. Hawaii Mike speaks about what it's like running a cannabis business, bacon with different type of strains, the moon rocks, all that. Then he lets us know what it's like being a road manager for Mobb Deep back in the day, what it's like making deals with Gatorade, Mountain Dew, Burton, and more. And also what it's like watching Prince get denied to get into a New York City club. Are you fucking serious? Listen, there's some gems in here also. You know what we do every week, okay? It's not only about us. It's for the people. So take a pad and take some notes down. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Now let's get to the show. Chea.
Come on, everybody get set, let's go. It's the next episode. It's the Premium Pete Show. News, interviews, all of the info. Listen up, it's the Premium Pete Show. If you want the scoop in the low, down low, listen to the show, cause Milk said so. Fuck what you heard, better act like you know. It's the Premium Pete Show.
Internets, welcome back to another episode of the Premium Pete Show. Listen, I'm really, really excited to be in Hawaii, okay? Well, we're actually in New York City. We're not in Hawaii, but this brother right here has been a longtime friend of mine, somebody that I consider a mover and shaker. Not born in New York City, right? But definitely a New York City shaker, someone that makes shit happen. So many different things, and I can't wait to get into them. I want to introduce Hawaii Mike to the Premium Pete Show.
What's going on?
Listen,
Internet.
Right off the bat.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going right into it because we get
swinging.
I seen a post last week on Instagram, HWMK, Hawaii Mike, which is your handle. And I started to read it. And I started reading about how you've been going through some anxiety and how, a lot of people and men particularly, we don't talk about it to each other, and depression and I was like, yo, I need to fucking speak to Mike, not only because of just a historic career of you connecting the dots and building brands over the years and, doing stuff on the road and the music and the ChefFofHigher, the Cannabis. There's so many things to go over, but more importantly, I was like, damn, man, you know what? You think about it. Men, not all, but a lot of men don't uplift each other. And, if we say like I'll give you an example. There's times where I have a couple of friends I grew up with that I'm still cool with to this day. And they're like, yo, you sound like you're having a fucking bad day. And I'm like, nah, man, I'm having a shitty day. And then they're like, what? But then they won't ask me, and I'm like, I seen someone write something on Twitter the other day, and they were like, don't be so focused on cutting people off who ain't checking on you. They may be concerned. They may be thinking, well, why haven't you checked on them? Because you never know what they're going through.
Yep.
in this world. But what's
It's
going
a
on?
two-way street.
What's going on with you?
I mean, for me, it was. I've always felt that it's the weaker man that can't talk about their problems, right? Like that person needs to be able to talk about their problems. So I found myself not actually following that advice. And so I felt I needed to speak out about it because I was going through shit for a long time and just never spoke about it. But spoke to friends about other things that they might be going through. They would talk to me about, but I would never really say it to them. So I didn't want to keep that kind of like perpetuating that cycle. So I felt like if I kind of opened the dialogue myself and, see who kind of responds and who reaches out. And I was, surprised to see a lot of my friends were like amazed to be like, yo, I never thought like you ever would have been depressed or have anxiety or worry about anything because of how I carry myself.
Sure.
But shit, like Jay said, like I did it for so long, I became a thespian. Like I was acting. Like it was literally like two different things. And I also got to a point in my career where I wasn't happy doing the shit I was doing. Yeah. Like we was talking about the manager shit, right? Yeah. It's a thankless kind of thing. Like I appreciated who I was working with always. But if the client did well or got accolades or got a new sponsor or got a new deal or whatever it was, that was great for them. Like they did that. We didn't really help, but if something fucked up, that's our fault. Like,
Well, speaking about, I mean, over here, what we do is we'll bounce around different topics. Yep. So, for instance, when you did start the management company, that was LTD, which was originally a magazine.
Which was originally a magazine, yep.
You later on joined with, I believe, Clark.
Yep,
Clark
DJ
Kent,
Clark Kent.
And formed the management group where, and correct me if I'm wrong, had Jonathan Manning.
Yep, Manning,
Nigel Sylvester.
Yes, sir.
Who else? Was it Spinner? Didn't you have?
Nah, Sean C and LV.
Oh, Sean C and LV. And didn't you have a DJ? I think you had a DJ. I forgot who.
Yeah, we had a few DJs. I mean, I'm just blanking out right now. 'Cause that seems like so long ago.
And it wasn't even that long ago.
But but it does.
but anyway, even like with somebody, I would think the biggest one I've seen out of that, of you do work and connect the dots and do what you do, was Nigel. Yep. I remember doing, I'm not sure, did you get him like a Gatorade?
No, he had Gatorade. Okay. He had Nike.
Okay, you had G-Shock. You did G-Shock.
No, he had G-Shock.
Really?
We did Beats by Dre.
Okay.
We helped with Sony.
Okay.
There's a few of them.
For those who don't know, Nigel Sylvester is a professional BMX rider.
Yo, actually, go check out his Go videos. He's been killing it. I think he just shot one in Dubai also, but he's been killing it. He's on GoPro now. So
what made you, at a later time in your life, what made you get into management?
Well, I mean, now that I'm doing what I'm doing with ChefFofHigher, I did it because I needed to understand what managing somebody's career meant. Because now I'm managing myself. Mm-hmm. And I'm managing myself as kind of talent and my wife and our brand as talent. So I needed to learn that aspect. I need to learn that trade. That's another tool for my toolbox, right?
You know, it's so crazy. It's so crazy because I remember through a mid part of my career, especially in podcasts, I remember I called you up and I was like, "Yo, Mike, you should manage me." And he was like, "Yo, I got too much on my plate to manage anything." And looking back at it and think of like how much you were going through, because it's like, here, I'll give an example. I always use this example. When you go on vacation and you hit up somebody from where they are, they're living their regular life. Mm-hmm. You're on vacation. You know what I mean? So it's like, here I am hitting you up like, "Yo, you should manage me," not even knowing what you're going through. Like, thinking that you could just take me on, not knowing that if you have a big workload or shit has been crazy or shit hasn't really panned out. Because, again, it goes back to you saying about the anxiety and depression. Yeah. People, they see social media, see ChefFofHigher, "Oh, Hawaiian Mike, he's good."
Yep.
They have no idea of the day in, day out problems that you go through.
Unless we talk about it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I started doing that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, we might as well have that dialogue. I mean, I've had people approach me saying we should do small groups and get-togethers and just talk about it.
Yeah.
I always actually want to do that with couples. Like, we grew up in the music business. Yeah. I've been with my wife 23 years, married 17 on August 12th.
That's crazy.
Like, and, she was in videos. I was in the music industry. She worked at Def Jam, too. She danced at the Tunnel on Sunday nights at Mecca, all of that.
Man, that's classic.
Like, yeah. But we grew up. Like, we're a well-known couple in the music industry. Like, executives, professionals, all kind of know us. Yeah. And so it's like, you know.
And what is her name for those who may not know?
Stephanie.
Okay.
And so, you know, it's you got to work through that. It's a lot, you know?
Yeah. First of all, how the hell are you together for 17 years, married 23 years together?
Yeah.
And I know there has to be ups and downs because it's a roller coaster ride with no seatbelt.
Obviously.
Give advice for people, if you have, from knowing all the ups and downs you've been through, what would be some advice that you would tell a married couple or somebody looking to get married?
Know what you're fighting for. Like, if you're fighting to win a fight, you're with the wrong person. If you're fighting to stay together and you understand you're going to hit bumps in the road and you're going to have, you know, tragic shit that happens between you, like, that's a different story. And I think that's what it is. I think that's the difference. I think I see so many of my people struggle in tug of wars and or going back into the old ways of this is how a man and a woman in a relationship should go and this is our duties. And I mean, everybody's different, you know? You guys got to complete each other in a different way, and every equation isn't the same.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, because it's like, as you guys got older, I mean, you have older kids. Your oldest kid is, what, 20-some years old?
24. Yeah. Graduated college already.
Anywhere I've gone, I've seen you both together.
Yep.
Networking events, any type of media events, any type of fucking mixer events. I'm like, yo, this, like, they really, like, not everyone has a relationship like that. You know what I mean? Like, there'll be, like, guys who go to, like, a networking event. Their wife's at home.
Or they never even. I know mad people that have been married since I've known them. I've never seen their wives.
Yeah,
because you work. I mean, certain people work in the music business. They separate that shit completely.
So let's take it back. How did you even get in the music business?
So I'm from San Francisco originally. Born there.
Where the fuck did Hawaii Mike come from?
So I was born in San Francisco. My mom moved me to Hawaii because she was working with growers. We'll get to that later.
Well, your mom was a grower, okay.
Well, my mom, both of my parents are musicians, hippies.
Okay.
So I grew up around, like, cannabis to me, my crib was where you went to smoke. Like,
when was the first time you smoked?
I was like 9 with one of my, like, fake stepbrothers.
And he gave you a joint?
Nah, we was, you know, grab out the ashtray of, you know, whoever's crib you're at.
Roach?
Like, yeah, hell yeah, Roach, you know.
What about
like
with your parents? When was the first time you ever smoked?
I was probably 16, 17 with my dad.
Was it weird?
Nah. I used to, so how I got in the music business, I used to snatch weed from his stash. I was sneaking into the Gavin convention, which is a music convention. This was probably 90, 91. I was selling trees and then met a bunch of people in the industry. They fucked with me, offered me an internship. I moved out to New York. First record I worked, did college radio as an intern for Diamond D, Best Kept Secret. So I got hired on the video set right on 2nd Ave. Anthony Mason, R.I.P., was there, you know, doing his thing. And
classic.
Shout out to Martha Reynolds for sure for holding me down up there. Jameson Grillo, like.
Man, you're going back with the names.
Oh yeah.
Like, so before I asked you about the weed, you were saying
Yep.
mom, you know, moved out to San Francisco. You said the Hawaii. You talked about how you got Hawaii.
Yep. Yeah. So my mom took me to Hawaii. So I was, you know, 5 until 10 years old. So like 1st to 5th grade, and then 6th grade I moved back to San Francisco and went through middle school, high school out there, and then got out here in 92.
Hawaii Mike.
Yeah. So you know who gave me that nickname was Pecos.
Really, Sean Pecos.
Yeah.
From formerly Def Jam.
From Arista Records.
Arista, Rock Nation.
No, from Arista Records.
When he was at Arista.
When he was at Arista.
Why did he give you that name, Hawaii?
I was known to have flowers, and I used to wear Hawaiian shirts, and he was like, there's Havana Joe, you're Hawaii Mike. And I was like, I'm going to fuck with you on that. I like that. I'm going to take that. And he was like, oh, go. And so my whole thing was that I used to see people at record labels, and they might lose their job or go somewhere else. Phone don't ring the same. I figured out that they was calling the phone numbers. They was calling the position. So if you was radio promotions at X label, that phone number didn't change because they wanted the DJs to be able to get hold of them, right? The names changed. So I never wanted people to answer the phone for where I was calling from. I wanted you to answer the phone because it was me. Yeah, so everybody asked me, Mike from where? Just tell them Hawaii Mike, yo.
Yeah.
So if I was at, you know, working with Mobb, working with The Source, working wherever, I was just Hawaii Mike, yo.
So speaking of Mobb, you know, it's funny because when at our 1-year anniversary for the Premium Pete Show, I had Prodigy come by. And I remember texting a couple of people who I'm cool with, like yourself, and I sent you the flyer, and I was like, yo, stop by. And I think you said, yo, you may have caught me on a good night. I'm out and about.
Yep.
And you, when he passed, rest in peace, man. It's still such a shocking and sad thing. We had spoke recently, and you were like, yo, thank you for reconnecting me with him.
For sure, man.
Tell us about that.
So just for y'all that don't know, I was Mobb Deep's road manager from January 95 until I think July when I went to the Source. So I was like kind of like their, first kind of dude on the road with them in a way when, we was on tour with Big, we was, all over the place. The album came out, the album released, like, all of that. So we had a good relationship. Like I actually co-signed, funny story, I co-signed their cars. And then one time I was working at the Source.
What kind of cars was it?
That was Hoopties, y'all. He was, if I remember, like it might have been like a Honda Accord hatchback or some shit. It was a Hoopty, y'all. There was the buckets, y'all. But if you ask anybody from
Why Mike had credit back in the day?
I mean, if you ask, I still got credit, but but IMD, you ask any of them, they remember the Hoopties, y'all. So I was working at the Source. I was at LaGuardia, and you can't go on the inside lane. Mm-hmm. I was trying to be slick, drop the shit off right on the curb and keep it moving, and they got me. Had a fucking warrant.
Really?
Found out P left the car on the side of the road with the plates. So I had a fucking death warrant. They caught me up. So I was locked up in Port Authority in LaGuardia.
For how long?
Like 13, 14 hours, just overnight or some shit.
Did you ever get a chance to tell P, like, yo, what the fuck did you do with the car?
Yeah, I obviously had to get that shit clear. He had to take care of it, pay all that shit. So we got it all figured out, but it was all good. But yeah, so back to I hadn't spoke to, like, we'd run into each other. I'd see him, after shit. But after he got out of prison, we ain't really hang or nothing. And I was calling you to let you know, thank you for letting us reconnect at your event. But when we did it at your event, it was like, we sat there and we kind of spoke, and we hadn't really had that moment. And, we just reminisced on old times. I actually wrote a funny story about us being in Cleveland. We was at a steakhouse, and him and Hav had, like, slid the steak knives after we started eating. I'm like, the fuck? Like, we don't get in trouble, but we was in Cleveland. Like, we ain't have shit on us. So it was like, I'm the biggest dude in the group. I'm 145 pounds at the time. Yeah. I'm only 5'10". They're not, the tallest guys or the biggest guys, but, their heart is. And so we at the show, and I'm in the sound joint, and they got their mics, everything. We were about to press play. All of a sudden, Biggie's music comes on from the turntables. The fuck? About 3-4 songs into the show, mad people rush the stage. They pin security. They chase Big and all of them out. And I finally get everything. I scramble. I'm trying to find them. I get backstage. Both P and Hav just standing there with nods like this thing ain't nobody fucking with us. We here, and I'm like, and he was like, yeah, see, that's why.
Yo, was Craig Mack on that? Craig Mack on that?
So I don't think Mac was on when we did the shows. I think we were kind of like replacing Mac on some of the spot dates, and that's a whole other story.
Yeah, he told a similar story. He told a similar story on one of our episodes. I think one of the maybe last year episode I did with him. He told a story about some knives and running through the crowd. They put bandanas on. I think was there pepper spray going on?
There was pepper spray. There was mad shit because they pinned the security guards. For some reason, the security guards had put them folding tables.
Okay.
And then they were in between that and the stage. When they rushed, they just pinned them under the tables. They couldn't move. They was just stuck. So everybody ran right over them. So it was madness. It was hectic.
From being Mobb Deep's road manager.
Yeah.
95. Was it 95?
95.
What would you say? You only did it for like what, 7-8 months? You said, right?
Nah, it was like 7 months. 6 months.
Okay, 6-7 months. But what did you take from that?
I mean, for me, that was my first time being on the road. Like, and we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have I had a burner, but we didn't have real access like we have now. We didn't have internet. We didn't have none of that shit. So being out there and trying to connect the dots in real time, and the stress of, I was the liaison for everything. I had to collect the money. I had to deal with the promoter. I had to deal with the radio people. I had to deal with the other people in market from the label and drive with them and meet all these different personalities. So it was probably my most, eye-opening experience that I had to date. I mean, again, I was 21. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how much weed were you smoking on that road?
I mean, I'm always smoking. So that's never changed. But I mean, it's harder to get back then. Like, it's different.
A lot of regulars. Right?
A lot of Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush.
Yeah, a lot of Reggie Bush.
Now, did I give you a headache back in the day, Reggie Bush?
I really didn't fuck with Reggie like that.
Yeah. I'll never forget when I mean, I smoked when I was younger, but I'll never forget when the good shit came out. I think it was maybe Hydro was at the time, or Chocolate, which was really kind of fake. 'Cause I feel like there was really no real Chocolate out there in New York. That's how I felt.
Man, that was
Blueberries.
But that's all. Like, those are all way different things. Like Chocolate original Chocolate back in the day. That shit used to really be on the stick and look all funny and like. You get that shit in a paper bag, looks like a popsicle.
Yep.
But that's different than what like the chocolate that say like the only tech from Smith & Wesson gets. Because we used to, we'd see each other like, How Can I Be Down in Miami?
Yep.
He got the black, I got the green, and got the ET.
Hey, listen.
And then we good.
That's a weed family. Now, with LTD, how did you start later on? You move on. Well, actually, we got
to go back to, don't skip that one. Because that goes into LTD.
Okay, so let's stay with Mobb Deep.
So
after
with
leave Mobb Deep.
Well, not even so. With Mobb Deep, we ended up on the Source magazine. So back in the day, the Source magazine used to have these van tours to shake the blocks, and we was the first ones to have those real street team style vans with the systems on the outside speakers, and so we ended up on that tour, and the dude who ran the tour, my brother Oos, we was in Atlanta, and we was at the strip club, and I mean, obviously we were just telling stories. So we was at the strip club, and long story short, the stripper didn't like something he did and threw a glass and broke it on his face.
What?
We was at, I think it was it Nikki's VIP or something like that? I think it was Nikki's VIP. And so we had just met. Like, we met a few hours before this, and I'm at the strip club, and this shit happens with this dude. And so we had ended up going to the hospital, and he's like gushing, and they didn't let him get to the back. And so I figured out, I just kind of, skated through, do what we do, right? Connect the dots.
Sure.
Got him to the back, got him in front of a doctor, he got stitched up, and we got out of there. So he ended up helping me get a job at the Source. And so that's how I ended up at the Source. And then I became the mobile marketing manager for the Source. I was the guy doing all the tour stuff with him. So he would drive the vans, and I would be the liaison with the labels and the artists and everybody else.
Yeah. And that's at the Source.
That was at the Source magazine. Yeah. And then I actually became fucking Surrender Records. I worked with Benzino and all that shit. Yeah, with the Hangman 3. So when they was doing all their albums, I was the dude in the studio doing all the recordings. I was leading all the creative direction. I was getting everything pressed. I was doing the promotion.
What part you kind of step into the game? What part did you actually feel like you knew what the fuck you were doing?
I mean, I don't think anybody knew exactly what the fuck we was doing back in 95 in hip hop. Like, I think people had a grasp on the music industry and certain other things, but the Source we was still growing. Like, we was big in that world, but that world wasn't that big at the time.
But it meant a lot to be in the Source magazine.
Oh, 100%. The people, but that's to the people that were in it.
Sure.
And,
maybe the outside
and now
people,
and then we weren't the driving force of popular culture. We was knocking on everybody's door still. We was still out on the doorstep like, can we get in the big house? Sure. Like, it wasn't, Shiny Suits didn't even start happening yet.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we had Arsenio and all that, but it was, mass was different back then, and what was big isn't, you look back on it, it was like, actually, it wasn't really that big. Yeah.
From being in the industry, especially the music industry, you think about all the artists, that you became friends with or became cool with or did deals with or worked with. To this day, later on, looking back, who are some of the people that you still talk to today that still have a good relationship in hip-hop?
I mean, shit, Bun B is probably still one of the longest standing, but I don't even consider him like a hip hop guy anymore. Yeah. It's like that's just the homie. Yeah. That's just the friend, right? Yeah. I mean, I was just with the Licks last night. Shout out to them. Shout out to J-Ro, Swift, Tash. I mean, shit, Bleak. You actually reconnected me with Bleak.
Hey, listen,
again.
That's 2 reconnections.
Yeah, that's 2 reconnections. You're doing good, man. I think everything comes in 3s, though, right? So there's gonna be another one. So we'll see what the other one. Or maybe this is the connect, right? It's the 3rd connect right here. Yeah, we got funny stories with Bleak too. Who else?
Where'd you
man?
meet Bleak?
I mean, Bleak from the industry, but we got cool from the homie Franzen, DJ Franzen out in Vegas, who I've known since we was teenagers. You know, just smoking, chilling, you know, same kind of vibes.
What's some of the things that, what's some of the crazy stories that would be?
I mean, we'll just say there was like, you know, certain skirts with the law that luckily he has a few friends in high places that helped us get away clean. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
No incriminating.
Don't want to incriminate.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
I don't remember. Yeah, allegedly there was some things that happened on some New York streets. And
Now, let me ask you something. So you're at Source,
Yep.
right? But is that what wanted you to, made you want to believe that you could create LTD?
So I did my first stint at the Source was on the mobile on the marketing side,
Sure.
right?
Street
So
team
I was on that side, and one side they tried to get me to move to Boston to run the label and work with them, but everything wasn't set up perfectly. I'm chilling in Hawaii, so I was like, I'm gonna chill. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I left the Source, I think in end of '97-ish, and then did like street team promotion stuff. You know, back in the day, that's the hustle. Probably did that for every label you could think of at the time. And then I created a sneaker column. I pitched the Source Sports. They had like a small sports magazine that Chris Wilder was doing. And I pitched him on a sneaker column. And so we started reviewing sneakers. I started getting into that. And then that turned into me becoming the lifestyle technology editor for the Source magazine. Mm-hmm. So I did that from 99 to the end of 2002.
And that's how you, over the years, built your sneaker collection, because I remember.
That's how, yes.
I remember.
Because before that, all my joints from Cali got lost in a fire. And then.
Really?
Yeah, so I had like top 10s, all my old Adidas, all my shit to B-boy and like all that stuff. But all that shit got lost. And then I think the first Jordans I got for free were the black neon 14s.
Oh, okay. Why'd you get them for free?
Because I was at the Source.
Okay. But you actually, I mean, not saying that you created that, but you think about it. If an editorial team is, covering something, you got to send them the product.
Yeah.
That was going on way before you got there, right?
That was, yes, but not like, you're talking 97, yo. Not that anybody really knew about it. It wasn't like now where everybody knows this product seating.
Sure.
Like, it was way different. The term influencer only meant celebrity at that point.
Yeah.
Right? There was no social media. There was no local influencer that any brand cared about to get penetration into a local market. Like, there was none of that. That's all very recent. So...
But when they sent that to you, did you ask them, like, yo, send me a pair and I'll review it? Or did they suggest that to you?
Well, it becomes relationships, right?
Yeah.
So I was just saying that was the first pair of sneakers they sent me for free. But what it was, real talk, it was like, yo, we were only a handful of people getting it. Like, so we'd go on a PR trip, right? PR trip now could be a bunch of influencers from Instagram or Vine or bloggers or this or that. Back then, it was print and newspaper. Like, that was it. Like, there was nobody else. So we would be out with Vogue, GQ. I'm trying to even remember. Like, wow, I don't even remember the other joints. New York Times, like, shit like that. It was never some, other magazine. Like, Rap Pages wasn't even on those trips with us. It was Vibe. Vibe would be the only other. So me and my man Hyun, like, so we would be if you were calling us influencers then, we'd be the only influencers that were coming from our world. Like, it was until after, like, Cargo Complex, we got wrote up when I did LTD in 2003. So it wasn't until then. So before that, like, it was, Slam. Russ was at Slam.
Yeah,
that was the other one. My
Bankston.
bad. Yeah, Russ. Shout out to Russ Bankston. Yeah. Like, Russ was at Slam, and trying to see who else. Like, that was really it with sneaker stuff. And then, like, it was us. And then I added the technology side because I started seeing all the technological advancements, all the different computers coming out, video games, PlayStation, this, fucking, NBA Live was popping. Like, if we're culturally participating in that, we got to show that shit in the magazine.
Sure.
And it was snowboarding. Snowboarding's popping. We got to show Burton. We got to show Spider. We got to show.
You speak about that. Hold on, I got to cut you off because you speak about that. Now you have brokered deals with Burton, right?
Yep.
For clients or yourself, you brokered deals with Capcom.
Yep.
Right. How did that happen? How does someone broker a deal with Capcom or Burton?
Well, Burton. So Burton. They only sold their product on the mountain, right? So at ski resorts. But every time I wore their products throughout New York, people would stop me, ask me what kind of jacket I was wearing or what kind of pants I had on in a snowstorm. So I talked them into letting me do product placement off the mountain. So I was seeding rappers, I was seeding 50, I was seeding G Unit, putting them in like AK product. You know what I'm saying?
But they were with it when you sent it to them. They were like, "Yo,
hell
fuck
yeah.
with this,"
because nobody else was rocking it,
True.
and this shit is dope.
True.
Like it's like because we were still wearing like, I mean, you still wear North Face, right?
Sure.
And back then we'd wear any kind of piece of North Face that we could get our hands on. What's the crazy shit with the I'm blanking out. The anoraks that are crazy, like
Averex?
No, the North Face joints.
Oh, Steep Tech.
Steep Tech.
Yeah.
So all the Steep Tech, I mean, we don't ever need to wear that in New York.
Yeah.
What do you need to wear that in New York for? Unless you're riding a motorcycle, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? But off the mountain, that shit just fly.
Yeah.
Right? Like we were wearing Vask back in the day.
Yep.
You don't really need Vask. You're not hiking out here. Because really, you step on them fucking steel grates, you're going to bust your ass in the snow.
True.
Right? So, we started doing all that shit for fashion. I just started talking Burton into that. Like, we related to it, right? Like, Burton is one of my favorite companies because, like, they got a smoking device in almost every season. They got stash pockets. Their tool was a pipe.
See, I never even realized that.
Like, yeah, because it's a lifestyle thing. Like, it's just part of that lifestyle. If you snowboard, majority of them cats smoke.
So for somebody who's a freelancer, right? Somebody out there listening right now who's a freelancer, right? And they're hearing your story about dealing with Burton, right? And it's amazing because what you're telling me is that you literally had to show and prove to them.
Yep.
Like kind of like, yo, let me do this. And then here you are getting in on the likes of 50, G Unit and stuff like that. What happened like after that? Did they believe in you? Like, oh shit, like and give you a job or give you not necessarily a job, or give you business, so to speak.
They did until the girl changed positions and I had to try to talk to somebody else that didn't get it. And that shit happens at companies all the time. And then you just move on, you go to the next company.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, to probably to my like detriment, I've never pushed mad hard on people. And I think it's because I was doing everything I was doing to kind of learn the trade and understand it, but it was for a bigger purpose of what I'm doing now. It was never really for me to stay there and just do that.
How many you sat in meetings with so many different brands of people. Everybody from we could go over them from Nike, Burton, Capcom, Mountain Dew. I'm sure you were in so many different meetings.
Yep.
How many people that are deciding on stuff like this don't get it? Like
the majority. But that's the thing. It's like you get lucky. Like Mountain Dew, randomly.
What did you do with them?
So randomly, I'd been brought in as an influencer. It was like me. It was Jeff Staple. It was I think the dude from Tokion magazine when Tokion was popping. This is probably 2004, 2005, and they were just talking to us about trends, just different things, culturally relevant things. Why is this popping? Why is fashion like this? What does streetwear mean? What does sneakers mean? Randomly, they brought us in and sat us in front of some of the executives. One of those executives happened to be somebody that knew me from Def Jam. He happened to be a lawyer at Def Jam. Shout out to Frank Cooper. And from that, I had that door. So we had a language that we both related, we both could speak and understand. And we knew what that meant to the consumer set and the consumer demographic they wanted to reach. So he understood the value. I didn't have to jump through hoops and sell them. We just had to put together a great program. So their problem was they were trying to do limited edition packaging and premium pricing. They needed help with a few extra artists because they were doing these art bottles. They needed one artist they couldn't get on the phone. I called him right in front of him, got him on the phone, locked him in, and he said, fill 4 more. And then we did it, and then we had a competition between 3 other agencies and beat them out to name the program and, figure out.
In this day and age, there's so many PR companies that handle brands. I mean, do you deal with PR companies or do you
Now?
Because it's hard to deal with the brand anymore, right? When you say that, I mean, Jordan brand has PR companies, like
Yeah, but they still got people at Jordan, so it's like I mean, there's layers, there's levels to this shit. There's layers, you know what I mean? It's like it's just that. Like it depends what your relationship is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't deal with anybody anymore. I'm not an influencer anymore.
You're an uninfluencer. No, hey, listen. No.
I'm an old. Nah, in hip hop, we don't respect.
Oh, please, I don't even want to go through this.
Exactly,
Brian.
we don't go back to
about
that
this all the time.
But
bro.
I'm just saying. But it's the same thing. So it's like all these cats that are in that position when they used to look and read the source and look up to us, or LTD,
Sure.
or when I was managing Nike athletes or working with it was a different story. Now I'm not in that space. I'm not an influencer.
So they're not sending you
But I'm
any
the same.
boxes.
But I'm the same person.
Sure.
I'm doing the same things. I'm around the same people. But what's different?
Yeah.
Right.
That's how the game is, man. You know, the game, like, you know, it's like
What do we do?
when, you know, it's funny too because it's like I even think about something like a kid like LeVar Ball. You know, people talk all this shit like, if this kid balls out, you're never gonna hear anything but good stuff, and all these brands are gonna be throwing fucking money at him.
And everybody knew it, and
You
I
know-
called it, and 100%.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I feel like, and I understand how it is. You know, more importantly, Capcom. How did something like that happen?
Oh, that's your phone. Capcom was damn. How did Capcom happen? I want to say somebody randomly came to one of our events, and then my homegirl Emily Anadu, she came to one of our events and saw our space and wanted to try something at the space. We used to manage the Etney space in Soho. It was on Green. It was a private building. It looked like a store or a showroom on the first floor. Offices were in the back. We had a dope-ass roof. And then we had a basement floor where we did events. And so they had this thing called Fight Night that they would do for Street Fighter. And it was for their Street Fighter community, which was like they're super savage in their space and they're all about it. And Seth actually was one of the characters, came up from the community, actually works at Capcom. So it was like they're about that kind of life,
Sure.
and really integrating it and really being about their community. So we had the space, they wanted to try it, we did it there, and then just kept doing things. I actually helped Just Blaze do he did a sound bed for one of their commercials.
Really? Yeah, Justice. I mean, he was doing a lot of stuff with video games then. Justice always has his hands into something.
We got to do a little drama over that. Just remembers that, huh, Just?
Really, you were ready to snuff him?
No, not me and Just at
Oh.
all. It was just like, it was funny.
What happened? What do you mean?
Something about, I don't remember. Something about the beat he gave us had been used for some LeBron Nike thing, but he didn't know.
You mean he already gave it to someone else, or
It
same
wasn't the
type of
same
beat?
exact. It was super close, but it was close enough where it was like, yeah, that's the beat. It was like, because he didn't know it ever came out. He thought it got deaded.
Yeah,
And it was like some mad obscure shit on the internet that they found. It wasn't even like, mad people saw it, but
oh my
You
god,
know.
that's fucking.
You know,
hey.
just-
Hey, listen, Just is the cheat code, man. I'll tell you, that fucking guy, man, is good at anything, bro. And I'm telling you right now, and I don't say this about everybody, bro. I had 4 or 5 breakdance battles over the years with him. That guy fucking spun on his head, his finger, fucking. He did all the moves. Okay, I watched him produce fucking tracks. Guy's crazy. Anything he does, bro. Video games, like he takes all that
Ramen.
shit. Ramen. But,
you owe me some fucking ramen, bro. We supposed to meet up.
yeah. Hey,
Actually, I
listen.
still talk to Josh. We got to go fucking. He was the master of the fucking two-way alerts.
Oh, really?
What? Yeah, him and I think I forget the other DJ, Evie or Ev or something like that. But he was like the master of the two-way alerts. So when I was at the source, he used to, that's how we got cool. And actually, we didn't know it. I mean, remember, but he was interning at the studio when Mobb was recording too.
Really? Yeah. Just has an amazing career, man. He's a great guy, man. I'm proud to be a friend of his. He's definitely a cheat code, as we say.
Young Justin.
When you hear about these deals that you brokered, and I look at it as a freelancer, and I speak to you not only from probably people and listeners worldwide, but just from myself.
Yep.
How hard is it to be able to make a big check one month and then the next month maybe nothing? Like, how has that been that you don't have a 401k? You know what I mean? You don't have.
Says?
What?
Who says?
Well, okay.
Well, that's the funny thing. So I got lucky, right? When I was at the source, So I've been independent since '97, yo. So I'm actually celebrating like 20 years of being
A freelancer,
of
almost
being
20
an
years.
entrepreneur. So even when I was at the Source, the second time as a lifestyle editor, I was in the masthead. I had an office. I had business cards that said the Source, but I was a freelancer.
Mm-hmm.
I paid for my own health insurance. I've been paying my own health insurance for 20 years.
Fuck.
Right? I've been doing my own investments for 20 years. I've had life, both whole and term insurance. Like, so there's money in that. There's college. I already put one kid through college, so the college fund. So I might have a 401k from a job that's putting money in.
Sure.
But I'm doing it. Right?
You're doing it your own way.
100, no, but it's the same shit as a 401k.
Sure.
It's still a 529B or whatever the numbers are for the college tuition. It's still, the same thing.
And but how tough has that been?
I mean,
because I'm sure you had great months and great years, and I'm sure you had tough years.
Of course, but you got to save. You got to know how I've had a business manager. Shout out to Grubman, like for 10 years now. I don't.
People. I think business managers are underrated, man.
Business managers are very underrated.
Why is it important to have a business manager?
Well, if you're always hustling, you're always on the move, you're always doing shit, you need your numbers and everything else to be backed up, right? Mm-hmm. You need to make sure that you got people chasing your money, paying your money out, so you're paying your vendors and everybody else on time, paying your bills on time. Like, they pay my whole life. I only pay I think my gas bill and my credit card, my personal card, and those are both on Chase, so it's like that's in an app.
Sure.
Everything else, from my rent to my quarterly taxes for 2 or 3 of the companies that I have right now, like, everything is done by I wouldn't survive without that shit. Like, not at all. Like, and you pay for it, but it's like having an employee.
Sure.
Right? But they're an employee that knows what they're doing, does it well.
But how do you find a business manager?
You get lucky.
Got to ask around.
You got to get lucky. But that's the thing, you got to ask around. I don't think we ask for help enough. Yeah. Especially men, right? That's how we started the show, right? So whether it's talking about anxiety, depression, or help in my career, or help with my family, or help with finances, or whatever, we don't ask for help.
Yeah.
You're told that's weak. If you're asking for help, you're weak.
It's funny, too. I look at somebody like you, and I say that you know how to connect the dots. You're a person that used the person in the brand, not the brand. Mm-hmm. Right? Meaning, like, you made the best relationship with the person in charge to make the moves and to get what the fuck you're talking about. It's crazy because it's like we talk to people about stuff like that, but those people will never know anything else that we're going through. You know what I mean? Like, we open our mouth for stuff like that. Pause. You know. But when it comes to the things that we need to talk about. But anyway, you're right, and it's really crazy because I think some people don't understand how important networking is and how important building relationships is.
Your network is your net worth.
I mean, listen, it's cliche, but it's so true.
I mean, to a huge extent, it's definitely true because the more you climb up, the more you're around people with money or experience. Yeah. Knowledge, just in general. It's key. You can't without it. I mean, I wouldn't be here without a network or, constantly building, constantly meeting people.
And that was going out a lot, too. That's the thing, too. Yeah. And you're older now, so you still, sometimes you get to a point where you're like, I don't want to go out as much.
Oh, it stopped.
Yeah.
It stopped.
But do you realize that when you go out, it's amazing who you see? I'll give you an example. Like, even me, like, I'm older now. And sometimes when I'm home, I like to stay home. I'm a homebody. Yeah. But I do like when I get to mix and mingle and run around the city and stuff like that. But I realize whenever I'm out and about, amazing things happen. I run into this person. I get an opportunity here. But I'm like, I can't stay out every day.
Yeah, but then when you're 42 years old and you go out with your wife on her birthday and you go to a club you don't want to go in, you realize you didn't get searched, you text your man who's the general manager and you tell him that, and you end up in VIP right by the door when you're rolling up, and then the shots go off.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Was that recently?
I was at Irving Plaza.
Really? You were there?
525. Yeah. I was there. I was standing right, like, where that mic stand is right there. There was the door.
Wow.
I'm rolling up, chilling. That whole shit happened. Everybody bang around past me. Fell right at the bar. 2 dudes carried the chick out, got blasted in the knee. And I'm watching that shit with the blunt, and I was just stuck. And I clicked in the mode and ran, looked for my wife, found my other man, and then sent her downstairs, got her out front, and we actually fucking. I dumbed out and didn't go the right way because I forgot to go to the other door. Went to the other. I got another. And we went and got caught by the stairwell because people were standing on top of each other to get down the stairwell, and that's when the other shot went off and we was across and like. So for me, like I've been in shootouts, I've been in a ton of shit. I was at the Nas joint, I was tons of places, but at 42,
the club you talking about?
Huh? That was Irving Plaza.
Same place.
That was a Troy Ave shit.
Oh, that's right.
Like,
fuck, man.
So all that dumb shit.
How the fuck do you find yourself at these places when this is happening?
That's what I said that night.
But I'm not talking about you're the king of regular. Mixer networking events. I'm not talking about only the club.
Well, for that, I forgot why I ended up there. I was going to meet with somebody, and I think we just wanted to go see T.I. Like, my wife just wanted to see T.I. It was her birthday, and it was just like, fuck it. And it was my boy was, working there.
Did you catch her outside when you went back outside, when you went the right way outside the door?
No, I had already sent her downstairs. She had gone downstairs, and she was outside already. She was good.
And then you came outside and just kept moving? I mean, the scene out of there had to be people almost trying to stomp each other out. Meaning like stepping on each other, no?
I mean, just because it got that stairwell shit just gets, that shit always gets bad.
Yeah.
So that was that. But yeah, it was, so for that shit, I haven't been going out like that,
Yeah.
That shit for me.
What about that Nas shit? You were in the mix of that, like in the center, or you were right by the door too?
When was that? I don't remember where that shit happened. I just remember the shit going off, everybody running, and it was like, homie got shot. Like, that was it. What was it? Where that hotel's over there now?
At the hotel?
It's like that shit was on 13th and Broadway. It's like a Hilton Garden or a
yeah. I know what you're talking about with the gates. Yeah.
That used to be it was the Key Club or Spa or some shit like that when that shit happened.
Man, crazy.
It ain't even hip hop. That shit.
Listen, it's part of hip hop.
That shit was everywhere, yo. In the '90s, anybody could have got shot. I mean, we've seen some great fights with some great artists.
Before we go to break, I want to ask you this. 1997 is when you decided to become a freelancer entrepreneur.
Yes.
What the fuck was your thoughts of success at that time? Like, what did you think that would make you? Everybody has a thought of like what they would want to happen.
Honestly, my dream at that point wasn't all in the music business, but it quickly changed. But the dream was to be the largest independent music distributor.
Really?
Yeah.
And that changed quickly.
Because then the whole like fashion style shit came to play somehow. I forget how, and it just went to that.
Yeah. Listen, internets, we're sitting here with the one and only Hawaii Mike. Okay, we're gonna take a break, so I want to tell you to listen, light something up because Mike has always been in the flower business. Chef for Hire is something to get into next. Who knows? This guy fucking eats his pasta. Or he got weed in his pasta. I don't even know. Internets, grab yourself a backwoods. What else? You use a regular Easy Wide?
OCB.
OCB. Listen, don't go nowhere. You listen to the Premium Pete Show. Be right back. Cheers.
Yo, what's up, man? It's Steve Lobel, and you're listening to the Premium Pete Show. We working.
Internets, we already told you this episode is brought to you by Bevel. GetBevel.com/Pete. Punch that in on your phone, on your laptop, even at work. Don't worry, they don't block that site, okay? Go on to GetBevel.com/Pete. Check out the groomers they have. Check out the buzzer they have. Listen, Tristan Walker's even doing the hair care product called Form Beauty. Official. Support that man and support that business because he's putting out cutting-edge product. GetBevel.com/Pete. Get yourself a discount. Get somebody you love a bevel if you love them. Internets, you know I'm here to tell you, uinathletics.com. At the checkout, I told you before, I'm telling you again, put in Pete10. Get yourself 10% off and free shipping. Treat somebody that you know to a pair of kicks, a pair of You and Athletics. They got so many dope collaborations coming up. Just go head on over to uinathletics.com. Check out what they got. Put in code Pete10 at checkout. Get yourself 10% off and free shipping. Do yourself a favor. And listen, they fuck with us. We fuck with them. Enjoy it. Cheer. Internet, and we're back sitting here with Hawaii Mike.
Yeah.
Listen, Mike.
Yes, sir.
On the break, we're talking about the clubs and why at an older age you don't even want to, need to go to them because of situations and shit that happens. But then you also mentioned like, yo, I did a lot already. I was friends with Biggie. How did that happen? Because that's not something you just say, I was friends with Biggie, you know?
I mean, dude, like, if you think about when I was growing up and who my friends were from, you know, Matty C, Scott Free, you know, Reef, Rob Tulo, Bones Malone, like, my affiliation is The Source or the things like that. I mean, you know, we're hanging around. I mean, Matty is obviously the guy who put him in The Source magazine. The other part was that I had actually moved to, in 94, I moved to Waverly between Fulton and Gates, which was 2 blocks from the Juicy video and them walking up and down, and where D-Rock and everybody used to do pull-ups off of the stoplights. Like, that was just there every day. And then I moved to 278 St. James, which is right next to the building C's and Kim grew up in.
Sure.
And actually before that, when I was on tour with Mobb, we was on tour with Big. So, like, it was, you know, we was around each other. I mean, we heard the One More Chance remix in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania after the show. That was the first time he played it for people.
Really? And how did the crowd react?
No, it was in his room.
Oh, really?
It was in his
the
room
hotel
after
room?
the show. Yeah, he had called everybody into the room. Say, yo, we gotta play this shit, we gotta play this shit.
And what was everybody's response?
It was fucking rocking out. Like, but it was like, think about what the shows looked like. You know, everybody running around on the floor and fucking smoking weed, chicks running here, there, and, you know.
You also spoke about being back in the day. What did you say about Prince?
Oh, yo, so there was like D'Angelo. He was this guy from Virginia. I was like, oh, you got to know this dude. And I actually had met him because my homies used to do work down in Virginia from the hood.
Sure.
And they had brought him through one time. So we had all smoked. I didn't remember who he was. And then his first show was it was on 47th Street. I think it was called the Supper Club, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a supper club. And then got to capacity. They shut the gates to perform. And I think that was also the night my wife found his manager's, like, his jewelry, his bracelet.
About D'Angelo's?
Yeah.
And what about, so where did shots get fired in there?
No, there was no shots in there.
Okay. So that was a good night.
Hey, yeah, that was a good night. Relax.
Okay.
Relax,
All right. I'm
relax,
not trying to make...
Not everywhere. That was a bad segue. I was there with no shots.
I know.
No shots.
It was at capacity.
It was capacity. Prince couldn't get in.
Wait, Prince couldn't get into that D'Angelo concert?
Yeah, Prince couldn't get in.
Who the fuck let me tell you something. New York City fucking... New York City...
But that's the old New York.
But hold on.
That's the old New York.
Even still to this day, sometimes... New York City fucking bouncers think they're the fucking best shit. They will turn away. Like, why are they like that? When you go out of town, a lot of club bouncers aren't as fucking dickish like that. You don't think so?
No, I agree 100%. But nah, they're all dicks.
How do you not let Prince in?
Huh? I mean, because I was in New York back then. That's how clubs were. Like,
so
you didn't make it in,
so wait,
but they let their best friend in or some shit.
So exactly. So D'Angelo's first concert in New York City at the Supper Club, Prince tries to come in, and they fucking tell him, nah, it's at capacity.
Well, no, it was already shut down.
Okay.
And he was trying to get in. They didn't, like, shut the door
but it's Prince.
on him.
Let him go through, let him fight.
I said the same thing.
He should have flew through the top. And you know,
but that's what it was back then, yo. You had all that shit, man.
It's funny. You make good sense. You're like, yeah, Prince, sorry, you can't come in. Oh, what's up, Joe? Yeah, okay, come on. How you doing? And you let your friend in. You're right. It's amazing. It's who you know. New York has always been who you know, not what the fuck, not what you know.
I mean, not as much now.
No, not now, but back in the day.
Not after bottle service, yo. Bottle service changed that whole shit. Fucked everything up.
But why did you think they made bottle service? To make money?
To make money, yeah.
But why did it kill it?
Well, you started having all of the venues built for sitting down with the table instead of a dance floor. Remember, a lot of them clubs in the the late 90s, early 2000s started opening up, stopped having dance floors.
Sure.
So everybody stopped dancing. And that's when shit started getting hectic again.
Shit makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. No, it does. Let's get back to, so you did LTD magazine, right?
Yeah, I created LTD after the Source magazine. LTD was basically streetwear, my favorite shit, and my friends that had brands and stores featured in the magazine. Every issue was done by a different artist or brand that I admired. I got to work with like Futura, Stash, Hayes, like
great graffiti writers.
I mean, incredible
great
stuff.
artists.
I mean, Jeff Staple. Jeff Staple did covers, and the great thing it was It's always just, it was conversations with our folks, and it was a limited edition publication. We only printed 3,600 copies. You had to be on a list to get it, and if you didn't get it, you didn't get it.
Is print completely dead in your mind? Today?
No.
Today?
No. I think, you know what I think's happening now? I think people want more intimate, smaller, shared experiences. So I think if you can curate the right subject and material, like, I think you can do whatever the fuck you want. Why not?
I think they should do like a season. You know what I mean? Like get people hooked to a certain season of books, you know, or magazines, I mean, you know, of things you're doing.
I mean, I really think it's, you build some dope shit, they'll come.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's in anything, you know? Now, what about now with LTD Magazine?
Yep.
What did you have to do with Ink Magazine?
So we had an agency. That's what we did the Mountain Dew project at, also called Seed Gives Life. There was 4 of us, and then, you know, a nice team of creatives that worked with us. And we were approached by some real estate friends. They own a lot of property in Chinatown. One of their tenants,
The Triads?
nah, they're actually cool. The Fungs, shout out to the Fungs. They were
Fung.
They were one of the tenants was the second largest supplier of tattoo materials and products, so
Really?
needles and inks and all that kind of stuff. Right?
Machinery.
Yep. So they basically came to us and said they want to create a high-end tattoo publication. So we created it at our agency. I was the founding editor-in-chief of Inked Magazine.
Really? Yeah. See, that's one thing I never knew.
Yeah. So we did 4 issues there. Got jerked by a publisher who shall remain
Remain Put them
unnamed.
on blast.
Nah, they still own the magazine.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Got it. So we did. So Joy Bryant was our first cover.
Really?
Yeah, and Joy was the homie. Shout out to Joy. Damn, what the fuck was the name of the photographer? It was this dude we had to talk into shooting her. Shooting for us, because he wanted to shoot her, but he wouldn't shoot for us because it was our first issue. And he never shoots a magazine's first issue. He was too big. And I forgot how much we paid him, like 15 racks, yo, for a cover shoot. Imagine getting that now. Like, there's only a handful of magazines that can pay that at this point. You know what I mean?
Now, what made you step away from it? I know you said you got jerked. But
we got jerked. We didn't really step away. It was tough, dude. We were running the investor pulled out because they were like, they didn't understand that money. I mean, magazines don't make money for 3 to 5 years. It's a grind. But we had like a 64% sell through at Barnes and Nobles. I'm like, yo, that shit is doing great. Like, give us some time. I mean, our second issue, we had Scott Weiland, R.I.P. Yeah. We got to shoot him. And then we did a Super Bowl party with TLC and Miami Ink in Detroit. Had George Clinton rock out with us. Allegedly, our publisher smoked crack that night to make sure George Clinton performed. Allegedly.
Yeah. Oh shit! You're a sick fuck, Mike.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yo,
that shit was nuts.
I'll tell you one thing. I didn't realize how much. You've been through a journey, man. You've been through a journey, but
Definitely.
it's not the destination is not what to focus on. The journey.
It's the journey, yo. And it took me a while to realize that. I was part of the anxiety and depression and other shit.
Yeah.
Like you deal with. You think it's, I'm not there yet. And then you forget to look at, instead of regretting things that happened in the past, you appreciate, you reflect on in a good way the things that you've accomplished in the past. And that's, sometimes you forget that shit.
But how do you even I know you said you were meditating, How is that?
I just recently, so I was doing yoga for a while.
Okay.
And then,
did that help?
Yeah, for sure. Just the focus, but the breathing part was something I was still struggling with. I would find myself in poses where I was struggling on breathing, like fluently, like not like losing your breath and shit. So the breathing exercise I started this month really kind of helped. Like even that shit sounds like retarded when you say, yeah, you got to breathe for 10 minutes. Like motherfucker, breathe all day.
Yeah.
But when you sit there and focus on it, it puts you in the now. Like, and that's the whole thing. It's like trying to just be present. And I think that's something we forget to do is be present. Because what is it? You regret the past, worry about the future. How do you appreciate now?
Well, even here's another thing. But even somebody who's running around mixing, moving and shaking? How do you even declutter your brain? To just,
That's what I'm working on actually as we speak. So I started with like the 10-minute decluttering of, space. So cleaning up my office for 10 minutes. Doing things in spurts so you don't lose focus and then drag things on, like knocking things out. So I've been working on that a lot.
Yeah.
That shit is tough though, cause
it's a process.
So here you go. All the free shit I got from my whole career, especially starting from the source and all that other shit, all that free shit has cluttered my crib. So not knowing
You're a fucking hoarder.
That shit has turned into almost hoarding, right?
Bro, I did the same shit, bro.
Not knowing it.
Yeah.
And not even thinking about it. And next thing you know, you got sneakers everywhere. Your kid is like, I hate sneakers because half my room is sneakers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's real. And then you don't, books, like shelves and shelves of
clothes.
Books. I don't know if I want to read this book again. Like, what? Buy this shit again or fucking get that shit on Kindle or that. Like, you don't think about it. That shit clutters your mind. So it stresses you out. It feels like that shit's on your shoulders. I just cleaned out our bookcase. Now we can actually have like cubs that are fucking just open. There's nothing in them.
Sure.
You can see the wall.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's great. Now it's like there's depth again.
Bro, it's crazy that you even think of that, bro. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I'm going through the... I argue with my lady all the time because our garage is not a garage no more. Our garage is full of fucking sneakers, clothes, gifts. Let me tell you something. Every week I say I'm going to clean it and I haven't cleaned it. I need to find... You know how I start to... becoming a hoarder? Throwing shit the fuck out. I make a column, what I'm going to donate, what I'm going to sell, or what I'm going to fucking throw away.
Yep.
And I literally have to like look at something and say like, oh, this Tommy Hilfiger fucking sweater. Bro, if I didn't wear it 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 3 years ago, I'm not wearing it tomorrow. Get the fuck out of here. I need to throw it because I'm become such a hoarder. And you know what? I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast, but I remember one time I was looking at my lady and I was like, damn, man, I want to go to Jamaica next month. And she's like, man, we got too many bills. We can't go anywhere. She's like, maybe in a couple of months. And I went in the garage and I looked and I seen a Dornbacher 4, a Dornbacher 9. I had four Dornbacher 4s, 4 Dornbacher 3s, I think like 4 Dornbacher 6s, and 4 Dornbacher 9s. I look, I said, yo, you know what? I fucking took 2 of each and went to Flight Club. And those type of shit, they sold the same fucking day.
Yeah.
Next week I went and picked up my check. It was like $7-8 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yo, we're going on vacation.
Yeah.
But, I guess I realized when you're in a game so long, or, the culture, or whatever, you're just a collector of shit like that.
But it's hoarding, like you said.
You become a hoarder.
Hoarding.
Bro, I
have
I got CDs that are scratched the fuck up that I need to throw out. You understand?
Where the fuck can you play a CD?
I don't know.
Right?
I just but I got.
I don't have a device to play a fucking CD right now.
But I have CDs. I got.
Well, actually, no, I'm lying. I do. But I got to go play it through a fucking PS4 or Xbox 360. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have a computer. I don't have a fucking Discman on my hip. I don't, what are we doing? But I have Biggie CD. I have like a stack of Biggie CDs, that are unopened.
Bro,
why?
You made so much sense when you were like, it stresses you out. Because I'll be honest with you, I go open that garage door and I'm like, I look at her like she was like, I look at it like it's my ex-wife. Like if I open the garage door, I see my ex-wife, and then my fucking lady's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "No, nothing."
That's why you got to try that 10 minutes. You gotta set a timer for 10 minutes.
I'm telling you, man.
Find one spot and go and knock that one spot out until you can knock out 10 minutes, and then walk away.
Yeah,
and then go back into another 10 minutes. And walk.
I'm gonna try that this weekend, man.
That's like, because otherwise that shit is just like the mountain just keeps getting bigger.
Let's get into probably the final stretch run of this Hawaii Mike episode. Is obviously we spoke about it the whole time, and for those who are hearing, he's not breathing, he's puffing, he's been smoking the whole fucking time. But I feel like you're living.
It's not me wheezing.
I feel like you're living your dream because you started ChefFofHigher.
Yes, sir.
Right? ChefFofHigher
with my wife.
With your wife.
Yep.
Didn't you start? I thought you started with Philip Spear.
That's agency for hire. So we had a marketing company, and the food side was all just me and my wife, man.
Now, what is ChefFofHigher for people? First of all, at ChefFofHigher on Instagram, you can check it out.
That's HIGHER. If you did, for everybody who doesn't get that.
What is it for people who may not understand?
I mean, we're a community-based company. We're a supper club. We meet around food. We try to show people that we've had a long-standing relationship with food as a community, as families, obviously, but also with our friends and other people. We always share moments around food. So we bring people together, and we kind of experiment with comfort food from different regions, different styles, different techniques. We theme out, we do these dinners and we theme them out. But basically, we're kind of showing people how to, dine with infused products with cannabis.
And how strong these. Actually, you know what? Let me go over this menu. I have a menu right here. I have a ChefFofHigher menu. And what's dope about it, I know a lot of people that go there like as couples, and they would go and like a treat there. I think like Ben Hameen, him and his girl would go. And they just sit there all fucking fucked up. But anyway, here's one of the menus, right?
Oh, but shout out to James and Aubrey who just celebrated their anniversary there.
Okay.
So speaking of couples, like the anniversary. Okay. That was big.
And I know Momo's there a lot. She's a hype
Momo's
beast.
always there, for sure. Momo's number one.
The ChefFofHigher, right? This most recent one's called Stoned Island. Right, this was the menu, and this gets printed out. People actually have these menus in front of them.
Yes, sir.
It looks like the amuse. What is that? That's like a.
Amuse is like the pass. That's like the first thing. So when the guests arrive, they get an amuse.
So this amuse was pretty flowers. It was
pretty flowers,
zucchini blossom, ricotta, and cornflakes.
Yes, sir. So it was deep fried. The ricotta was mixed with some honey, so that was whipped up, and then we put that inside and deep fried it.
Mm-hmm. And then infuse everything, or everything's already infused. The honey. Yeah. Now the Stone Cold Punch. It's overproof rum, dark rum, passion fruit, lime, and sherbet. Yep. Now where does the weed go into that?
The alcohol. So we use alcohol as a gateway drug. Mm-hmm. So when people eat or consume edibles through ingesting in food, a lot of times they anticipate the effects. So we help to try to quell that anticipation by giving you something you're very familiar with, which is alcohol. Mm-hmm. So as soon as you take a shot of alcohol, you feel it's in your system immediately, right? So then THC is attached to that. So it just helps get you kind of going.
Where the fuck did you learn all this?
Trial and error.
Okay.
I was a guinea. I've been a good guinea pig.
I'm sure, bro. You always look high every time I see you. So I can see that. The next one was the appetizer. Is hella fried green tomatoes, basil, buttermilk, and dill.
Yeah, a basil buttermilk dill. Basically, that's the ranch dip that you kind of smear on the plate.
And that's where the THC is in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you had another appetizer is a whole elote, corn.
Elote.
Oh, it's fancy.
Yeah. Hola elote. So you gotta say it like the,
Oh, okay. I get it, bro. And where does the THC go in that?
What was that? Oh, so we made some mayo, fresh mayo. Okay. From scratch. And so we use our olive oil that we make. Yeah,
now also, I've seen you have a bottle of ChefFofHigher that you made, what was that, like olive oil, right?
Yeah, so our first two products that we'll put out in California will be olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and honey.
Okay. Now, you also spoke, not to get away from the menu because we're going to finish this menu up, but you also spoke about there's dispensaries in New York. I didn't even know that you have a medical card.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how does one even get that in New York?
Chronic pain. Nah, but I've seriously had pain for a long time. But yeah, you can. There's doctors you can find.
I never knew there was a dispensary.
Yeah,
where's one?
There's a dispensary on 14th Street.
14th, really?
Yeah, I think it's Columbia Care. I think is that one.
Do you see it being finally legal in New York?
I mean, that's a tangled web. Let me say this: the government has a patent on the use of cannabis as a neuroprotectant. So it protects the nerve transmitting that, it's like Alzheimer's, helps to slow Alzheimer's down. So the government has a patent. The government also says it's a Schedule I drug, which means it has no medicinal use.
Okay.
Anybody else think that weird a little bit? Just a little?
The quiet was the weirdness.
So, will it be legal?
Could we be Denver?
Will they ever stop racial oppression? Will they ever stop the privatized penal system? I don't know.
But
it's
all they would make money out of it. Why wouldn't they do it?
They're making money making it illegal too.
Yeah.
You understand? It's not. Look, it's illegal in the first place because of the Industrial Revolution. You know, obviously racial oppression, all that part, but the Industrial Revolution was happening. All these industries were being created. They can't allow people of color to get into that. So let's knock out one of the industries all these people can participate in. Let's take out one of the best things we have. We use it for propaganda and then perpetuate that cycle throughout history. How you going to have Reagan say no to drugs and the CIA bringing coke into the country?
Sure. Because they're the most crooked. They're the biggest gang.
But that's what I'm saying. So they're always making money. So the reason to make it legal would never be for the government to make money. It has to be for something else, which is why it's illegal in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like I don't know what to say when or anything. I can hope, but you know, we just operate in the legal states, and you know, we put products out in California.
Well, anyway, people who check out Chef for Hire, you do events all over the world.
Yep, we're a full service catering company as well,
and they can check it out. I suggest, you know, if you're into that type of shit, you know,
like food.
Yeah, no, well, food and weed.
If you eat,
making an
but
event.
Yeah, but not everything we do. Like what we really do is about food. It's bringing people together around food. It's one of the most communal things on the planet. Like I said before, it's at what birthday party you been to? There's no food.
True. No.
What graduation party you been to? There's no food. What celebration in general? There's no food.
Bro, food
what
is
gathering of people for the most part where they don't act up and say we need food if there's no food.
Food is the bridge.
Exactly.
Food
right?
is the bridge.
It breaks everything down. So if we utilize that and show how it's been or show how food participates throughout history, I mean, bhang in India is muddled cannabis leaves.
Man, that's crazy. Let's get back to this menu for a second. The main item was a barbecue platter.
Yep.
Brisket, ribs,
Yes,
jerk
sir.
chicken, house barbecue sauce. So
Yep.
that's where the THC came in, right?
Yes, sir.
And look at these sides: schmack and cheese, German potato salad,
Hey, you want to see what it looks like? That's what it looks
vegetable. Well, you got to go to Chef for Hire for this. But damn, my God, look at this. What about that? Where does the German potato salad have THC? But here's the thing: for somebody like me who doesn't know about this shit, I go here, right?
Yep.
I start eating potato salad. I start having some brisket. Good fucking food.
Yep.
How fucking high do I get? Like, am I sitting there fucking dumb? Can I talk to you afterwards?
Most people for sure. So what we do is there's a certain process in the timing, in the style of food we prepare, how we prepare it, it's a thing. So the length of the service as well. We've had people that have never participated, never ate edibles before, have a great time. We've had people that have been doing it forever, have a very similar time. We believe the shared experience kind of changes how we kind of behave and deal with the effects, right? When people have a bad time with it, it usually feels like, you know, I got pushed off a cliff. I can't really grasp reality. You know, I'm fucked up. When they're having a shared experience where everything is prefixed, everybody's doing the same exact thing, you're in a very welcoming environment, you're with cool people you can get along with, it's a vibe. If I'm feeling weird or anything, it must be me because everybody else is having a great fucking time, right? So I think that really helps people do it. So what we call is responsible consumption through proper dosing.
Yeah. Now, how many people are at these things? Would you say, like, when you throw an event?
So we do a monthly one that rotates all over, and there's either 2 seatings of 20 people or 1 seating of 40.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you also had dessert, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And that dessert was a hostess.
No, all the hoes.
All the hostess.
Sis.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
All the hostess.
Yeah.
And that included
All the
Twinkies, ho-hos, and ding-dongs. How the fuck do you get THC in these things?
So, have y'all ever been to, like, the festival, like San Gennaro? You
Yeah,
get
of
the
course.
deep
Forget
fried,
about it. I
get
get
the deep fried Oreos, right?
Yeah, I get a sausage and peppers.
But the deep fried Oreos, have you ever
Yeah,
had those?
of course. With the,
so,
with the,
what is it?
The
What's
confectionery sugar?
But what's the dough? You know what it's fried in? So it's like a pancake batter. It's usually soft, right?
Okay, yep.
When you bite
Golden.
into it, what happens?
It's like a sponge.
And you get to the what?
Cookie.
The hard cookie.
Yes.
Right? So I never actually liked that experience because I don't really eat hard Oreos.
Mm-hmm.
Like you dip them in milk, they get soft. That's when you eat them, right? Right? No? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
So we did the flip. we did a waffle batter, right? Crispy, light, airy, and then you get to the soft Oreo because we didn't freeze the Oreo. So this shit's it's a different experience.
Oh, you guys are fucking weed geniuses. I'll tell you one thing.
It's food geniuses.
It
has nothing to do because trust me, if you eat it, you don't taste it. But 2, without it, you're still eating it. Trust me. That's what I'm saying. That part of it is just another box we check, just like an ingredient. It's just like going to the farmer's market and saying, "Oh, this is available. All right, we're gonna put that in there, and we're gonna flip this ingredient like this, or we're gonna flip this menu like this, or we're gonna add things here and there to tickle the senses." I mean, we use terpenes too, like so flavor profiles, smell profiles, right? Like we use all of those things as well as part of the experience.
Let me ask you, what's your favorite strands of weed?
I'm an OG guy.
Okay.
Not because I'm an old guy, just an OG guy.
Okay.
So I'm always good with OG. But I fuck with some AJ Sour all the time.
Shouts to AJ.
Yeah, AJ kills it. I mean, what else? Actually, my people's got some fire. This shit called Billy Kimber.
Billy Kimber?
Billy
sounds like an
Kimber.
adopted kid from fucking Pennsylvania.
Nah, Humble Pharmacy, LA, y'all. Shout out to all my family out there, Woo and crew. Yo, Billy Kimber is
What about Moon Rock?
I'm not really a fan of Moon Rock.
Why?
Sorry,
Why?
It just doesn't really get me like that. I don't know. And then, if you don't get him, I corrupts Moon Rocks. What he smokes, I probably smoke with him. The other stuff, because depending on who you're getting it from, if some people get the Fugazi. Like a lot of the times, that shit ain't the top shelf. So it's a different experience. I've had some other ones, especially like the fake ones. Like you see them, that shit look nasty. Like you don't want that.
Yeah,
and that's not really a strain. That's like a concoction.
Okay,
that's a Frankenstein. Of
see what
cannabis.
you guys are doing, especially with the Chef for Hire, is you're literally having a full course fucking dinner. That is all THC. Like literally from fucking appetizers to a cocktail to a main entree. And they change all the time.
All the time. Last month we did Seinfeld.
Really? What does that mean? Like
we did so foods like Seinfeld had mad food references from like soup Nazi to this big salad to a bunch of things. So we just kind of flipped our perspective on it. What was it? George used to eat a pastrami sandwich for like foreplay. And then they used to always eat Chinese food. So Mission Chinese, which is a restaurant I love, plus they're from San Francisco, does a Kung Pao pastrami. So we got some pastrami from Katz's, cubed it up, and hooked up a Kung Pao pastrami. Shout out to Chef Albie.
Added all that.
Shout everybody out. Fuck it. Why not?
There you go.
Why not? Everybody.
Forget about it.
Yeah,
You're going to forget somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what about the strain Jack Herrera?
Jack Herrera?
Yeah.
Oh, I love some Jack.
Yeah?
Yeah, my man's in the Bay. You know who you are. Grow some fire, Jack.
Shout out to the photographer Danny Space XS. He's a big fan of it too.
Yeah, Jack Herrera's. Oh, that shit is bomb.
Listen, we got so much weed talking, and I don't even smoke weed.
You don't even smoke. It's all right though.
No, but here's the thing.
We all have an endocannabinoid system, so you actually could, but you don't have to. So.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
You don't need the benefits. You're good.
If I come down,
you got Italian food.
I'm gonna give. Yeah, I'm not doing your spaghetti and meatballs with THC. I'm gonna say leave it out.
Oh, we did a whole red sauce night.
Really?
Yeah.
See, listen, internet, you need to fuck with this bit. I'm not gonna fuck with it because I don't want to get fucking high because I lose my mind. But you know what?
You might find it.
Yeah, probably true. being that, what is the dumbest thing you did when you were high, like over the years? Because you know what I mean. The highest, dumbest thing that you ever did.
I shot my TV.
What?
Yeah, I was trying to help James West. I was watching Wild Wild West when I was a kid. Yeah, it was bad.
What do you mean? Explain more.
So we lived with my uncle when I was in middle school, and I took over his old bedroom. His old bedroom used to be his gun room. So he, collects guns, used to shoot all the time. And so actually when I first had sex, there was an AR-15, a 30-06, a 30 Winchester, a compound bow, and a double barrel shotgun on the wall. So that was fun. But yeah, so I grew up in a household like that. So I was watching Wild Wild West one time, and I had a 30-30 Winchester, and I forgot to empty the chamber. Yeah, I shot him though.
Yeah,
I got him. Yeah, I got it later though.
You shot the two.
Yeah, I had to tell my uncle that shit wasn't fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There's a couple times I seen you out in the streets. Fuck the fuck up, bro. You know what I mean? Like you.
Oh, that's probably because I was drinking. I stopped
drinking.
drinking.
You stopped drinking?
I stopped drinking.
Yeah, there was a couple times I was worried about you, bro.
Yeah. That was probably the alcohol. You know how it goes.
Yeah. But listen, what about now? We spoke about your father.
Yeah.
And 16 years old when he sat down with you and smoked.
Yeah.
What about your kids?
My oldest son, he started smoking with me when he was 18, but he didn't start smoking until he was 18. But I wasn't the first person he smoked with.
How does that feel to smoke with your kid?
Oh, that's cool. I smoked around them their whole lives. That's the thing. I never hid it. Because for me, it was never anything that was hidden from me. It was never anything taboo. It was only taboo outside of our home, like, because the authorities, would say something. But in my home, so my memories of it are, both my parents are musicians. There's a jam session. There's adults. There's kids. There's everything in between. There's music. There's food. There's drinks. There's trees. There's fun. I mean, it was the 70s, the 80s. Like, that's all it was. Like, so there was no harm in none of that, and that was just part of the lifestyle. That was just one of the things that was present. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, it's there. Look, everybody, it's cannabis. Sure. Let's love it, and it's there. Look, we have a brand, and taste this and do that, and like now it's so novelty. That's why we approach it. That's why I keep saying it's not really. We don't forward face it because it's not what it's about.
Yeah,
people would still come just for the food.
Are you still growing?
Growing what?
Herb.
Me? I've never grown.
Okay, never know.
No. I've been around that shit. My mom did.
Okay.
Worked with growers.
Okay.
Didn't really, but I've never. That was never like anything.
You don't think that'd be good for your business?
The dedication that would take, yo. I respect that craft, yo.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even consider myself a chef.
Where do you get the lights to grow? You need them at Home Depot or some of those.
Nah, I doubt they're at Home Depot, bro. I doubt it's at Home Depot. Yo. But yeah, all you kids go to Home. No, don't go to Home.
I want to play. No, I tell you one thing. As we wind
down
a
license,
as we wind down this episode, you think about it. Your journey has been, crazy. Starting in San Fran, in the music industry, in print, in street team, in really just being a person who wore many hats.
Media, but again, like what I said, like, what do they say? Luck is the intersection of passion and preparedness.
Yeah.
Right. This year's 25 years I've been in New York. This year I also turned 44, right? So numbers have been around and swirling. It just feels like it's the right time to be doing what I'm doing. Everything feels right, so it's like keep pushing.
What's your advice to a freelancer coming up, young kid that wants to live his dream out and really just not work in a corporation, create things and create his own blueprint? What's your advice for him?
I mean, if I was going to, let's say it like this, if I was going to talk to myself again and give myself advice, like, don't lose sight of the larger goals, but always fight for the things that make you happy in the present, because again, like, you sometimes you forget what you want and you're self-serving other people, and their needs. And so their needs become your life. So don't forget what you want, what you need, what your dreams are. Because that's what happened for me. I forgot to dream for a minute, And then once you stop dreaming, your journey sort of kind of stagnates, right? Because your dreams can constantly change, and that's where that journey changes and takes you in different directions, and you see and learn and do new shit. But, you get to that dark place, and sometimes you get stuck. You just find yourself treading water. And that's when, like you were saying before, like you have a good year and a bad year. If you're just treading water, shit ain't good when you're independent, when you're an entrepreneur. You got to keep, that hustle, that fire burning, that creative spirit, that grind.
You can't let,
Not to be
from
cliche.
my experience, I don't have 20 years of freelancing like you, but I have maybe, say, 10 And, you know, the only thing that sucks is you got to stay strong when those things get tough, because I'll be honest with you could lose your passion
quick.
Or you're just, you know, it's just...
Or hate what you do.
Yeah.
Like, just despise that shit.
Yeah.
You know, and then that turns into friction with your family.
Sure.
You know?
All these things trickle down.
Everything trickles down, you know?
But hey, listen, you know, you still with your lady, and... you know, you guys are creating something dope with ChefFofHigher. Internet, I want you to check out ChefFofHigher. And what's the website too?
It's getting up. Yeah, it'll be ChefFofHigher.com.
Well, just check Instagram.
But y'all can sign up and, you know, it'll be like members, and we'll have recipes and galleries and, you know, ways to get a hold of us.
And on Twitter and Instagram, HWMK?
HWMK.
Okay. Listen, you had to get early on that one to get that, you know, to lock that one down.
Well, yeah, because, somebody, they got those bots, man. I remember I went to one of the websites to look at HawaiiMike.com. I went back like 2 hours later. That shit was gone.
Though people buy shit because they want you to buy. But I remember somebody.
They buy it because you search.
Somebody bought
as soon as you
Trill.
search.
Do you know somebody copyrighted Trill and Bun?
They
had to reach out to them, and when they found out who the guy was, all he said was like, "Yo, I've been waiting for you to call me. I have it already for you. I just want to get like an autograph or a picture." Crazy. Bun met him in South by Southwest, and I guess they transferred over the copyright of Trill. Like, it's crazy, bro. They've been
for a picture and an autograph.
Yeah, that's all he wanted.
And for the moment.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we wanted.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. That's not that bad.
Hey, listen, there's people who are more scumbags than that.
Oh, for sure. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at that. At least it was like, 150,000.
Yeah. So, I mean, the kid could have did something like that, but, you know, it's nice to see. Anyway, listen, Mike, your journey, like I said, is definitely inspiring. And I want you to continue to push the openness of men supporting men, and just being more brotherhood. And that's why I reached out to her. I mean, when I seen that, I think I texted her and just said, "Hey, I want to send blessings your way."
No, 100%.
And I seen a bunch of people commented, and you said that to text you too.
And then text, a lot of texts.
So, you know, even though, you know, you may have closed deals with Burton and Nike and Mountain Dew, have been married for 17 years, have a successful, you know, cannabis, beautiful business with ChefFofHigher, done a lot of shit, that doesn't mean that you're not a human being, that 100%. You haven't gone through shit, that you don't have anxiety, that you don't have depression. And, you know, I just want to say as a friend and that, you know, we need to reach out to people and be there for people and understand that, you know, to uplift them. You know what I mean? We need to uplift them.
That's why we put that out there. So, yeah, you know. Welcome that now.
Yeah.
Open
well,
arms.
Listen. I feel like people could just probably be high just when they listen to this episode, like just from like the strains that are like coming out of the air holes of the audio, you know. But anyway, listen, internet.
You can't get contact. Yeah, you're good.
Internet, check for Hawaii Mike. Like I said, HWMK. Check for ChefFofHigher on Instagram, and see what they're doing. And listen, Mike, all the best. What's coming up?
We'll be out in LA soon, so y'all can look for that one. You know,
any other projects you're working on?
You know, just the website, man. That's trying to get that out. We'll have some merch up there, you know, a few things, and then we'll be out in California soon. So
okay. I need them fruit roll-ups, THC.
They got those.
Need them nerds.
We won't be doing that.
They got
nerds.
All that. You got nerds. You got Jolly Ranchers.
You can find all of that. Okay, we're going to be regular, man.
You know what I need? I need you to make me a fucking tortellini Alfredo.
Yeah, see, there we go. Okay, now we're talking.
Forget about it.
Now we're talking.
Internet's Hawaii Mike, man. Listen, we'll see you next week.
Pleasure.
We'll see you next episode. Chea. Internets, if you like what you heard today, okay, then tweet me at The Premium Pete Show, at Premium Pete, or email me at thepremiumpeatshow@gmail.com. You were fucking with it. You weren't fucking with it. I don't care. I ain't taking it personal. I want to know your thoughts, okay? And I'll tell you another thing. All my businesses out there, small business, big business, whatever business. If you want to advertise on The Premium Pete Show, email me at thepremiumpeatshow@gmail.com, and let's get something working. Let's figure it out, okay? I'll see you next week. Chea. Forget about it.